I'm really perplexed and frustrated. That was a bad effort. I don't like to call my guys out, but if that was they say civil war, we'd all be dead, including me. So, we won one game in the Civil War. We're fighting for our lives, and for me, that effort was not indicative of fighting for your lives. Neither from the starting pitcher's perspective, throwing the ball over the plate, the defensive perspective, the offensive perspective. I thought it was quite frankly, a pretty weak effort.
All around?
All around, including the coaching staff. My job is to motivate the players, and I almost feel like it's a little league team that have to come up with a different speech every time. And like I said, I'm just going to call it as it is. We have to be fighting for our lives, and if that was the definition of fighting for our lives, it's going to be an early summer vacation for us.
That particularly frustrating. Last night you get kind of the emotional win. You're thinking maybe that can carry over, and then
yeah, and just flush it right down the toilet. Not to take anything away from the Beavers' effort, and both the freshman pitchers were struggling early, and their guys settled in very nicely, and Rasmussen did a nice job of getting them that deep in the game, and then their relief corps was spectacular. We hit a couple balls hard, but we really couldn't get anything going. And, we just, we just continued to give away too many outs, too many bases, and their three-hole hitter, their freshman, got a clutch two-out double, and essentially that was the ball game. It took darn near 4 hours to finish the game, but it was actually the game was all in the first couple innings.
Would you say this was Cooper Styles' best outing of the year?
He's been good. There was some silver linings. Clevenger was spectacular, and Cooper's been really good. Our last series, he gave us a chance to win, and came in and, at Portland on Tuesday, did a very nice job and probably turned the whole momentum of the game around. And for him to go that many innings and that many pitches, he definitely was the brightest star of our team.
Peterson's recent struggles just a confidence thing?
I don't know what it is. Nerves. His mother was here. I'm sure he wanted to have a good outing. He's had 3 bad ones in a row, and he's got crazy movement, crazy stuff. But if it doesn't go over the plate, it doesn't do any good if he can't command it.
You let him pitch it out. He struggled against Michigan State early, and he pitched out of it, considering the circumstances.
Yeah,
did you think about just leaving him in there and seeing if lightning could strike twice?
Yeah, but after the double, I'd seen enough, and that was a pretty flat changeup. That I called it. He threw it for a strike, but it was a pretty flat. He didn't have his secondary pitches and didn't have command of his fastball. And against the Beavers, you don't want to let them get too much of a lead because their pitching's awfully good, and you can't always count on them kicking the ball around like they did last night or walking us. And they didn't do that tonight, and that's why we struggled.
How do you feel going into tomorrow?
Well, I'll see. I'll see how my guys are. Hopefully, they're hungry to get a series. We haven't won one series in conference. That's again why I'm so frustrated, confused, and perplexed. I thought, again, if that was a fist fight, we'd be in the hospital with broken jaws. I hate to steal Coach Garrido's line, who I coach with, but there's an old thing floating around, and if that was a fist fight, we'd be beat up pretty good. And not that you play baseball like that, or I'm not saying that we're going to fight the Beavers, but we should be fighting for our lives, and that was a pretty flat effort. I just don't get that. Long, Saturday, long night last night, but heck, we didn't have to get here until 4:30, so there's no excuse for not being ready to play.